So far in our searches, we've been using the simple search box that's available via the homepage of OneSearch. But if you're looking for something a bit more in depth, and certainly when you're researching for assignments, and definitely when you get to things like final year projects and dissertations, you'll want to be able to record a more detailed search. And so the advanced search options will be much better. So if we just click advanced search next to the search box here, then you'll see it changes the format. So you can now see our 4 options of what we want to search across along the top here rather than a drop-down menu. And we've got multiple lines here where we can add our search terms, and there's various kind of aspects we can apply to those search terms. And you can add more extra lines, as many as you want. So if we start off with a very broad search, and so we'll search for Winchester, but we're also going to search or Hampshire, because when you're coming up with search terms, you should be thinking about, okay, what are the broader terms in relation to the information I want to find? And I'm going to click search. We want to click search after every stage to see what impact that has on your results, because it enables you to be a bit more flexible and adaptable. And if it has a negative impact on your results from what you want, then you can always just go back that one step rather than throwing all of your search terms and limiters at it all in one go. So that's brought us back just over 250,000 results. So I'm then going to add a narrower search term. So within that, I'm going to say I want stuff on education or teaching or school. And you'll note that when I'm putting the or in here on both those lines, that I'm putting it in capital letters. That's really important. By putting it in capital letters, that tells OneSearch I want to use it as a connector. So I'm telling OneSearch that I want resources that contain any one of these 3 terms. If you put or in lowercase, it will think you want to use that as a search term, and then obviously it will probably bring back everything ever written, because most articles have probably got the word or in them somewhere along the way. So if I click search again, that now drops us down to just over 30,000. And then I want to go narrower still. So I'm going to add in a demographic and say that I only want stuff in relation to Winchester and education and schools, in relation to children. And so I'm going to put in children or childhood or adolescent or youth or teenager. It's always really important to be thinking of those alternative terms, those different ways that authors might describe the information that you want to find. So again, we've used or to connect our different terms, and you'll note that we're using and to connect each of our lines. So we've got the drop down options here of connecting our lines with and, or, and not. So by using and, we're saying that we want any term from this top line and any term from this middle line and any term from this bottom line. So if I click search again, that should narrow it further. So we're down to 4,500 results. So from there, another way that we could narrow is by where we're looking for this information within the metadata relating to the resources that we're searching across. So by default, it's searching any field of the data relating to the resources. So that could be in the title of the resource, the title of the journal, the article. It could be the subject terms that have been applied. It could be within the abstract, the summary of the article. Or for journal articles, it could be somewhere within the full text itself. And so that means it could just have one word from each of these lines in there somewhere, but actually overall the article might not be related to that. So if one of these aspects is particularly key to your search, so say it's really key actually that the viewpoint is in relation to children or young people, and so we can change any field to subject, and so that then will only bring us back articles that contain one of these terms in the subject terms that have been applied to that article by the publisher. So that drops us down to under 3,000 results. And then another option from the fields that we're searching across is title. So that's now saying that we want one of these terms in relation to education, teaching or school to appear within the title of the resource. So even narrower still. And if we click search again, we'll see we've now dropped down to 617. And then let's say that we want Winchester or Hampshire to also be within our subject terms. So again, we click search and we're down to 92, which is a good set of results. Obviously, we could also be using our narrow your results facets that live down the right-hand side here. But we've explored those in one of our previous videos. We usually, in relation to this kind of search, would be using date and resource type alongside our search terms to narrow our focus. So that's a quick introduction to the advanced search on OneSearch.